Hey guys, welcome back to another Drive Academy video. As you guys could tell from the title, today we'll be discussing the infamous Trinder Crossing that's located not too far from the Logan Test Center. So for those of you who live near the area, you know how tricky the situation or the crossing can be in certain situations. And for those of you who have your tests in Logan coming up, make sure you, one, watch this video, and two, ensure that you go do adequate practice in that area as well. Make sure you go from different sides, you go from different times, make sure there's trains coming across. Yeah. Before we do get into that though, if you guys could please like the video, subscribe, and turn that notification button on. It really helps us out, so we'd greatly appreciate that. Okay guys, so as I said at the start, we will be talking about the Trinder Crossing today. And due to the proximity of the crossing to the Logan Test Center, if you are doing your test in Logan, there's probably about a 80 to 90% chance that your examiner will take you over the crossing in your test. So instead of kind of just shying away from it, being scared to do it, you're better off just kind of practicing it to ensure that even if it does come up in the test, you guys are well equipped to deal with it. For the most part, it isn't too difficult. Obviously, it's just a crossing, you just wait for the train. However, at certain situations, depending on how busy the intersection can get, it has been in the past caught up a few students and they have failed their test because of that. Alright guys, so what I'll do now is I'll switch to a top view. I've got this image from Google Earth, feel free to do that as well. And what we'll do is we'll pretty much just talk about a few of the important areas for us as drivers, I guess, when we're approaching this railway crossing. Before we do that, I will just get our bearings right a bit. So up the top here we have Railway Parade, and down the bottom here we have Station Road. And now that we have a bit of better idea of, I guess, where things are and which road is which, we'll get into the actual crossing. So this area that I'm highlighting now, the yellow area, so this is the actual train track or the railway actual crossing, so where the train crosses over. At no point during our drive are we allowed to stop in this area. Obviously we will have to maneuver over it to get from one side to the other side, but at no point are you allowed to actually stop in that area. And this will become a lot more clear towards the end when I'm doing a few more I guess demonstration videos in the car, so just make sure you stick around for that. Next area here we're going to talk about is obviously the green path, so those I'll be highlighting now. These green paths, obviously, as you can tell when you're driving, these are solely for bicyclists. So whenever possible, obviously try avoiding those. And lastly here, probably the most important or second most important for us as drivers is the red area. So this red area is the only area designated for us. So we're not allowed in the yellow area. We're not allowed to stop in the yellow area. We're not allowed it in the green area. The red area is pretty much designated for us as vehicle users. So as you can see, we got one area up the top near Railway Parade, and then we got one area, red area, down the bottom near Station Road there. As a general rule, what I do tell the students is there's usually only space for one car in that red area. So if you can see that there's already a car in that red area, what you want to do is you want to ensure that you're stopping in a safe area before. Don't try squeezing up behind them. What often happens is students will assume that they have enough space in the red area behind another car, and then the back of their car is sticking out onto the main road or is sticking out onto the actual railway crossing, i.e. the yellow area. And then obviously the examiner has to fail them for that because they're blocking traffic or they're putting themselves in a dangerous area. So as a general rule, just try remembering there's usually only spot for one car in that red area. So look up ahead. If there's already a car in that red area, do the safe thing, just stop in the area before. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of this will become real clear when I'm out on the road and showing you guys the actual demonstrations, so make sure you do stick around for that. Alright guys, so what I'll do now is I'm going to head to the car. I'm going to take you guys with me. We're going to go for a bit of drive to Logan, and we're just going to do the Trinder Crossing a few times. So what I'll do is I'll record myself doing it from a few different, coming in from a few different sides, a few different traffic conditions. What I'll do is, with the clips I've got, I'll put all the easy ones at the start, and then I'll put some of the more difficult ones towards the end there. So make sure you watch all of them. Yeah, guys, so we've got the railway crossing coming up, less than a minute.
like I mentioned earlier, it's not too tricky. However, there is a few things that can go wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to be turning right, and we're going to go over the crossing, and then we're going to turn right again at the end. So first things first, make sure we're indicating, doing our checks, hopping on. So this black car here, they have to actually wait for us. No oncoming traffic, so we can come in. Up ahead, we can see that it's clear on the right hand side, so we can come in. If we were to turn left there, since that car's already there, we'd actually have to wait in the area before the actual railway crossing. We got cars coming from the right, cars coming from the left as well. In a situation like this, we pretty much have to give way to both sides, so we have least priority here. And it is peak time as well. Everyone will be coming home from work or coming back home from school. So it's like I said, it is one of the busier ones. White car on the left hand side, seems like it's the last car coming, so we can start moving now. And like I said, guys, that is one of the busier ones, especially at peak time when, you know, people are coming back home from work or come back home from school. So don't try rushing your way through it, just wait for it to become safe. There's a good chance you might be waiting there for 30-40 seconds up to a minute. If that's what you have to do, just make sure you're waiting. Alright guys, so on the right we got the railway crossing again. So just gonna go over it once again. So right indicator, making sure we're waiting for these white lines to open up for us to actually merge in. We can see up ahead there's no oncoming traffic, so we can enter into this red area here. Up ahead I want to go right again, and I can see there's no one in the red area, so I can actually move up here and start indicating. Once again, I have least priority, so I pretty much have to give way to everyone. That includes this white car, the red car coming here, and these cars coming from this side as well. Like I said earlier, don't try squeezing your way through. Make sure you're waiting. The car behind me, he's stuck in a bad position now because he's half on the railway crossing, and the car after him as well. So that's what I mean. If there's already a car in the red area, guys, don't try risking it. Just make sure you stop in the area before. Alright, red car's finished. Looks like we have time, and then we can make that turn. This time we're turning left. It looks like it's a pretty good situation up ahead, so I'm going to start indicating, and I'm going to merge in. Up ahead I want to turn left, however I can already see that there's cars up there, so I'm going to wait down here. I'm not going to follow up behind that white ute, otherwise we'll pretty much just be stuck in the crossing area there, so that's where you don't want to be. So always when you're doing the railway crossing, try looking up ahead, see what's going on. We're going to wait for the ute to move up. Looks like a bit of space. Alright, they've moved, and now we can move up. Up here I want to turn left, so I'm going to indicate. Once again, make sure we're giving way. Cars coming from the right. And we can start going as well. So up ahead we want to turn left. There's already a car up there, so we're going to wait here. Now that car's moved off, now we can start moving. Coming up here, we're going to indicate left again. No cars coming from the right, and we can continue going. Alright guys, so just coming up to the railway crossing again. First thing we're going to do, indicate right to get onto the actual road. Make sure we're doing our giveaway checks, no one's coming, so we can come in. Up here we want to enter left into the railway crossing, so we're going to turn left. Up ahead we want to turn right, so make sure we're coming over to the right hand side, indicating, doing our checks. Cars coming from this side, car coming from that side as well, so we're just going to have to come and wait for them. When you stop like this, guys, make sure you're rotating your checks from right to left. Don't just continue looking just on one side. Perfect example, guys. So we're going to be turning right at the railway crossing. Train just passed, so it's going to be fairly busy. Wait for the dotted lines to open up, and then we're going to slowly merge in. And like I said, it is starting to get a bit busy, so it's a good chance that we might be waiting for a while. So cars coming up ahead, obviously they're coming straight, even though that guy's turning left. they still have priority over us. So we're going to wait for them. Blue car on the right has to wait for us. All we're waiting for is just oncoming traffic. So we're going to wait for them, we're going to wait for them, we're going to continue waiting. Alright, now there's no space for us, so we have to wait here anyways. And that's a chance for the blue car to go. Now we can move up. Alright, this is a perfect example. We're going to turn right up ahead. There's already a car waiting up there, so we're just going to wait here. If I were to move any further closer, I'd pretty much be stuck behind that car, behind the ute, sorry, the four-wheel drive. Okay, so now they've moved off, now I can move into that position. And now we'll give way here. It's clear, so we can continue going. We're turning left onto the railway crossing. Perfect example because there's train coming just as we speak. That white car there has to wait for us, so we're going to come in and we're just going to stop behind this car here. What we'll do is we're going to wait here up at the top there, up the end, sorry, we're going to turn left. So first things first, obviously wait for the railway crossing. Alright guys, so when you've finished waiting at the crossing, you have to wait until the boom gates go all the way up and the red lights stop flashing before you actually move off. So pretty much what the van in front of us is doing. What we'll do is, we're not too sure, so they're turning left, there probably won't be enough space for us up there. So we're going to come and wait here, wait for them to move off, which they have, and now we can move up. So we're going to left indicate, come up here, we're going to do a giveaway, there's cars coming. Last car, the white one, and we can start moving. Okay. Alright guys, so we're turning right here, however obviously giving way to oncoming traffic. And it's a good example because we're the first car at the front of the crossing now. So I'll show you how we should be doing them. So obviously making sure we stop before the white line or the yellow crossings over there. Alright guys, so boom gates are going up, but we got to wait till they're all the way up and those lights stop flashing red as well. So wait for them to go up and the lights have stopped flashing, so now we can start moving. Up ahead we want to turn right, but obviously we've got it's a give way, so we're going to have to come and give way to all the cars approaching. There's a car coming from the left hand side, so we'll just wait for them.